Xiao keeps checking. Mouths are still complaining. Obviously I was here a couple hours ago. Now, her eyes suddenly widen as she doesn't finish her sentence. It's on the computer. Xiao sees a dark shadow. Zoom in. A man is staring right at her. Xiao is frozen. She understands now. The man knows everything. He knows all my thoughts. The sneering face of the figure on the computer seemed to say, "Ignorant and lowly man, you can't escape from me. Seeing as how you're so pathetic, I'll tell you myself the directions to look for." Xiao followed his gestures and kept scrolling. She and the black shadow seemed to start a conversation in the void. Xiao questions him, "Am I ridiculous?" The black shadow doesn't talk, but the smile on his face says it all. Accompanied by his scorn, the camera goes around and ends up back where it started. Xiao crashes. Emotions are completely out of control. She turns and rushes to the door and picks up her lunch tray. Then she ran back and slammed the tray into the computer. That's not enough. Xiao continues to pound away. By this violent means, she's letting out her own panic and fear. What happens when you're locked up in a dark place for a long time? Xiao has begun a gradual delirium. She's standing by the window, fists slamming against the railing. She doesn't care, even if she's already bleeding. She just wants to get out now. Finally, in her desperation, she even tried to jump. She picks up the pieces of the computer she just broke, ready to grind the railing down. But as soon as she lifted her hand, the room began to spray a mysterious gas. It's the Mystic. He's trying to stop Xiao. In the last moments before losing consciousness, Xiao curses, "You scumbag." After fainting, Xiao's consciousness drifted back to the schoolyard. She ran into Lai as she entered the classroom. Lei greeted herself as always, still as gentle and sunny as ever. But just as Xiao answered, Lei's tone suddenly changed. "Don't you hate that filthy half-basement you lived in before?" "What?" Xiao hasn't responded yet. Lei is walking straight towards her. He pulled out his deodorant and said, "Don't you think it's nice to be in the sun? Because there, it doesn't matter if you're prying into someone's privacy or ruining their life." Looking at Lei like this, Xiao doesn't react for a moment. Lei continues to taunt her. "Don't you hate smelly dads too?" "It won't change." Deodorant sprayed on Xiao's face. Lai's face is reflected in the water drops. "It won't change, it's all the same." The next alarm goes off. Xiao wakes up in a daze. The computer on the desk has also recovered. The familiar words "sit down." There's also food at the door. Though everything has changed. But one of the same mornings came again. But Xiao has no fight in him now. She doesn't think she'll ever escape. So why bother with that guy? Besides, what am I supposed to do out there? I don't have any friends, and I don't go out at all. And here I am, free from the stench of dad and with food and shelter. Think about it. Xiao simply starts lying down. She closes her eyes and goes back to sleep. And at this time at school, the girl in front of Xiao forgot her language book today. Afraid of being scolded by her teacher, she plans to use the missing classmate's book. And her classmate said, "Lai and Xiao actually disappeared together. They don't have any secrets, do they?" They regretted saying it as soon as it was out of their mouths. How could you scold Lai like that? It's embarrassing. Deskmate asked, "Whose book do you use?" Xiao. The girl's face changed instantly when she heard. Damn, who'd use hers? Lai, of course. Outside the classroom, the homeroom teacher is calling Xiao dad. She's been calling for 2 days. Xiao's dad hasn't been answering his phone. But then the phone went through. Hello? Who is it? Girl's been missing for days and the father hasn't even blinked. Just now, the head teacher called Xiao's father. As soon as the call was answered, she immediately said, "Xiao hasn't come to school for 2 days. I've been trying to call you, but you're not answering. That's why I called you again today." And he didn't respond. Just quietly smoking his cigarette and listening, the homeroom teacher went on to say, "Absenteeism will affect your daughter's future education. Xiao doesn't seem like the kind of kid who would miss school." Dad interrupted her before she finished speaking. He exhales a smoke ring. Xiao's father? And then what? What? Hearing this cold tone, the head teacher didn't react for a moment. Xiao dad continued. So, the homeroom teacher stuttered. She said she just wanted to know if something happened to Xiao. And that's when dad runs out of cigarettes. After a moment of silence, he said, "Xiao is just sick. I'm taking care of her. I'll send her to school when she's better, so you just leave it alone." Back to Xiao. She just got up. After a day's sleep, all she feels is a sore back. And even a little bored. She starts to think about why she's here. What did I do wrong? And is that dream in the morning suggesting something? Wait, Xiao suddenly remembers the private message she sent to Lei. Could it be because Struling? She rushed to the computer. Well, let's make sure. She's logged into the account again. Sure enough, there was a private message unread. Open it. There's a line in there. You need to find out why you're being held there. Xiao paused. Is that Lei? Why? Because of that private message, Xiao bursts out laughing. What's it to me, if you're the one who did it wrong? That's right. Xiao doesn't feel the least bit bad about what he's doing. She clicks on Lei's log. Are you that afraid of me finding out your true colors? Do you think the things you did will go away if you lock me up? But then the open log was blank. Nothing. The record's been deleted. But Xiao Xiao wasn't surprised. She expected it. You can't do anything on the internet without leaving a trail. She opened the edit. Got draft. It's got 17 entries. At that moment, the mysterious man who was watching him from the other side saw Xiao Xiao's operation inside. Luckily, I brought her with me, and the browsing history is filled to the brim with lies scripts. One of them caught Xiao Xiao's attention. Qualifications for parenthood. How much does a grieving family affect a child? He went from being a sunny boy with good grades to a pervert who stole his privacy. It's all about Lai's mom's subtle influence on him. Xiao Xiao opens Lai's manuscript and finds the message called parental qualifications. There were 2 sentences written in it. If you want to be a qualified parent, you can't cry and go home early. His father cheated on him when Lai was a child. He was often late and didn't even come home. And his mom was in tears every day. Lai is haunted by her mother's unceasing cries and curses against her father. It's a distraction and a burden to him. Then Lee deliberately scored 51 on a test because he saw Dad's car on the way to school that day. Dad parked his car and left. And there was a woman in the car fixing her makeup. So he knew that even if he got 100 points in the exam today, his mother would not be happy. This is the story of Lee's childhood. Xiao Xiao reads it and curses the guy for being such a lunatic. But the corners of her mouth gradually rose. She laughed out loud. So Lee's family is broken. Xiao Xiao doesn't sympathize with Lee. Still think it's funny. She thinks Lei would cry every day if he was in her house. Haha, even funnier. Xiao Xiao thought she seems to be the only one who knows about Lei's secret. It's so cool, this moment. Xiao Xiao's penchant for mocking other people's privacy is greatly satisfied. She intends to keep reading. She wants to know all of Lei's secrets, but then the alarm went off. It's 5 o'clock. Xiao Xiao's computer is out of control. Control is back in the hands of the man in black. He erases the interface and opens a notepad. Slowly, he typed in words. Eat. Who can eat in this situation now? This pervert is torturing me again. Xiao Xiao responded directly from the computer. You're Lei, right? And the man in black outside just smiled slightly. He didn't bother with Xiao Xiao and kept sending emoticons instead. That emoticon smile reminds Xiao Xiao of the guy on the map in the daytime. Damn it, Xiao Xiao curses the madman. She even thought about smashing the computer screen again. But then a sentence appeared on the computer. Let me tell you something important. Back to Xiao Xiao's father's side. He's in Xiao Xiao's room. It's already full of clutter. There are still traces of Xiao Cao's life, but Dad doesn't mention Xiao Cao. Instead, it inexplicably says, rancid flavor. There shouldn't be a need to call the police, should there? And then he just turned around and left. A high school girl was kidnapped by a mysterious man, but no one knew. Even her own father doesn't care. Now the girl can only escape on her own. It is said that humans have a habit of assuming the motives of others based on their behavior. The mysterious man said to Xiao Qiao, "Why would I tell you that much? Time to eat the path you're looking for, and my smile and so on. It's easy because these are hidden clues." Realizing what he meant, Xiao Qiao began to go through his previous browsing history. She was shocked when she saw this, the mysterious man on the map earlier. Every time he smiles, he points his finger somewhere, and the places he points to have one thing in common. They all have numbers. Xiao Qiao collects the numbers. Eventually, it turns out to be a website. Curiosity drove her to search the site. The interface that popped up looked very familiar to her. Isn't that my phone's unlock screen? Is it? Xiao Qiao tries to enter his own unlock code. It actually opened. Look at the familiar wallpaper. What's going on here? Is this really my phone? In Xiao Qiao's shock, outside, however, the mysterious man relaxes. He used hacking software to steal the cell phone code Xiao Qiao had just entered and muttered, "It's so easy." After getting the password, the mysterious man disconnected Xiao Qiao's computer again, reopened the notepad. He gives Xiao Qiao a new command. It's dinner time. Xiao Qiao greeted the mystery man's mom and dad. Damn, why does this guy always talk about dinner? Watching the mysterious man start to use emoticons again, Xiao Qiao sends a telegram directly to him. But remembering all those hints the mystery man had just given her, Xiao Qiao reacts. That mysterious man keeps stressing about eating. Is there any clues in the food? Xiao Qiao comes to the plate. She looks at the familiar food. Do I really have to eat it? Regardless, Xiao Qiao hesitates for just a moment before grabbing a spoon and eating. At most, it's just food poisoning. On the other side, the man in black is currently flipping through Xiao Cao's memos. It records all of Xiao Cao's resources, and the one that attracted the mystery man was Li Yi's password. The mystic said darkly, "Found it." She really does know. That's when Mystic's cell phone rang. There's a text message asking him to take a call. It's urgent. Mystic turns his head to look at Xiao Cao on the monitor. He was going to wait for her to finish her meal. Now it looks like that's not going to happen. The mystic got up and left the premises, but instead of going out, he's heading in the direction of Xiao Cao. At the same time, Xiao Qiao, who has finished his meal, also realizes what's going on. Her heart tightens. High school girl kidnapped. After a 3-day battle of wits, she finally meets the kidnapper. Just now, Xiao Chao finished his meal and realized there was actually writing on the bottom of his plate. Upon closer examination, he realized it was a phrase. "You can see me today," and that's when the door was opened.